as runners, we really have a hard time wrapping our minds around the concept of less is more, specifically when it comes to our training. A lot of times we're always thinking, what more can I be doing to get faster? What's something else that I can be adding in to make me a better, stronger runner? Well, what if today I told you that one of the best things that you can be doing is actually taking a step back and adding in more rest days? If you're in the midst of a training program at the moment, you should already be having in that 1, maybe 2 days of recovery in there, built in. But what we're gonna be talking about today are the times that you need to add in those additional rest days to make sure that you are benefiting yourself the best that you can. Today we're gonna go over the reasons why you need to take those rest days and when you need to be taking them. If you're injured or feel an injury coming on, maybe some sharper pain when you're out running, this is gonna be the time that you're really gonna want to add in some additional rest days. This is gonna benefit you way down the line. And it's a little harder to explain how many days you should be taking. It really depends on the injury. But if you're going out, say for a 5-mile run and a mile into it, you can barely walk and you're trying to hobble through just to get those miles in, it's time to stop, head back home, sit down, mobilize, and really try to work on this injury. Because the more miles that you stack on top of this injury, the worse and worse it's going to get, and it's never going to be able to fully heal. Now, I know it may seem a little scary, a little nerve-wracking to take 2-3 days, maybe even a week off to really recover that injury, especially if you're training for something like a marathon or something like that. You have a big goal in mind, but taking that shorter amount of time now to make sure that your body is completely healed and can handle the rest of your training is really going to save you, because there's a chance that if you're making this worse and worse, you might not even make it to that goal. You might not even make it to the race. Or if you do and you really try to push past all this pain in the middle of that race, you could have an even worse injury or something that's going to need surgery and take months and months to repair, or may not even be able to repair at all. The body doesn't know miles, it knows stress. This is a quote from David Roach that I like to think about, especially when I have some extra stressors going on in my life, be that from work, life, personal, all of those things. Unfortunately, we tend to take a lot of that stress into our runs or workouts with us, and then we're just compounding that stress on top of each other, and that run or workout is just not gonna go that well. You're gonna feel tense. You're gonna feel like, maybe you're not hitting the times that you want, all these things that are gonna go on top of that. And that's just gonna stress you out even more. And after that run, when you're supposed to be feeling like, did my run, I completed it, you're gonna be even more stressed. On those days, I like to take a step back, try to relax, maybe switch my mindset a little bit and go to take a yoga class, meditate, something like that. Having the mental capacity to be fluid with your training plan is super key here. So on those days that run is just not gonna go well, change it out, swap it for that rest day. Maybe the rest day that you're supposed to have this week can then be your hard workout. But making sure that you have everything in your training plan is gonna be super key. Now, another way that we can stress out our body is by getting that poor quality sleep. When we go to sleep, this is the only time for our body to actually shut down, and our brain can trigger the release of hormones that are actually going to repair our body. This can only happen when we're sleeping. So if we're only getting a few hours of sleep and then trying to hit a big workout the next day, our body is not physically going to be repaired. When we're doing those hard workouts, those hard runs, our muscles are literally tearing, and sleep is the only time that they have to build back up and repair themselves. Sleep is also going to be important in your training, especially if you're feeling a cold or a sickness coming on, because when you're in that deep sleep, once again, that's the time that our body's going to release those white blood cells and attack those viruses that may be occurring from the lack of sleep, from the hard training. So that's why they always say when you're sick, get in bed. So we're making sure that we're preventing that from happening by trying to get those 8+ hours of sleep each night. So I know from Alexi Pappas, she likes to say that if she's feeling overtired and has not gotten a lot of sleep, that she will sacrifice 3 miles of a run for an extra hour of sleep, because that's how important it is. So I've been telling you guys to take these additional rest days, but what should those rest days look like? What should I be doing? Should I just be laying on the couch doing nothing, eating potato chips? Should I be taking some more cross-training sessions? No, well, somewhere in between there. what you want to be doing is maybe taking the time to sleep in, get a couple extra hours of sleep, going to bed a little bit earlier. This is going to be the time to do a restorative yoga class, some foam rolling, hitting those areas that may be feeling a little tight, giving them some extra love. This isn't the time to be trying out a new spin class, taking some additional time to work on your strength training. These are the days that we want our body to feel better, to feel rested, to not be sore, and really get that recovery in. Now, the one thing we didn't talk about was what you should be eating during these recovery days to really help speed that process up, but luckily for you, Coach Elizabeth did an entire video on it. It's right here over my shoulder. Go ahead and click there, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Less is more. Especially,